guys, what's up? I'm Greg No Q. My co-pilot is off today. So for that and a few other reasons, today's video is going to be different. Not better probably, but different. Today, I'm reviewing the shrimp Whopper from Korea. Now those of you that have watched this channel for a while know that we usually don't go in for the cheap shot like this. When the Whopperito came out, the only person to this moment, to my knowledge, that has a legit Whopperito is Jason Callan. You can look him up, C-A-L-L-A-N. Find him. He's got a legit Whopperito. Everybody else made like fake ones. Well, we try not to do that, especially since the real one's coming out in July. You're going to get your chance. We'll eat the real one when it happens. In this case, two things happened. There's nothing to review, and I can't go to Korea. It's not even anywhere in my realm of thought to be able to go to Korea. I looked this information up. It was easily replicated. So, I'm going to bring to you the Shrimp Whopper. Those of you that follow us on Snapchat got the exciting 3 minutes of video of me painstakingly putting this together. So, if you're watching this video as it just came out, you've still got 3 hours to hop on over to Snapchat, MrHappy0121, and watch how I made this. Until then, let's get a close-up. The Shrimp Whopper is really super simple. It is simply shrimp on a Whopper. The only thing that the Korean recipe left off was ketchup. The reason for that is they replaced the ketchup with cocktail sauce. The onions, the pickles, the lettuce, everything remains. In my case, took off the tomato because tomatoes are gross. I must admit, it's not often that I eat something that I am trepidatious about, even the least bit fearful of. This one's got me a little worried. Which it shouldn't, because you know what? I love shrimp. I don't really love Burger King. Gonna go with the usual 3-bite approach. Here we go. Wish me luck. That wasn't near as bad as I would have thought. Let's try bite 2. Want to make sure I'm getting shrimp in every bite. Shrimp tried to escape, so we're gonna make sure that he gets in with this bite. Unprecedented 4th bite. Okay, here's the breakdown. Better than it should have any right to be. The sauce actually added to the burger. I like the sauce a lot. The shrimp, at least the ones I put on, gave the hamburger a bit of a snap that it doesn't normally have, which I can only assume the tomato normally stands in and gives it that snap. I assume. I don't eat tomatoes. But in this case, the snap and the flavor went very well together. I really didn't taste the shrimp because the charbroil on the burger kind of overpowered it. But between the shrimp and the shrimp sauce and the burger, it's a great combination. The mayonnaise didn't even annoy me. The only thing I would have left off this going forward is a pickle. The pickle kind of seemed out of place. The onions and lettuce, perfect. If I were grading this, I'd give it a 90 out of 100. And you know, like normally with Burger King gimmicks, I wouldn't do it. My only fear with this particular item in the US, if you've watched our videos, you know the kind of things like the lettuce that we get from Burger King is always brown. The vegetables are always wilted. I can only imagine how sick I would get from eating 8-hour-old shrimp that was under a heat lamp before they put it on my burger. In fact, it's kind of frightening. So from that aspect, even if this came to our country, I wouldn't recommend it. But I'm sure they probably take care of things a little better in Korea. Let's hope. So if you're ever in South Korea, stop by Burger King and get you one of these shrimp Whoppers. It's pretty badass. Or make it at home. I bought a big ass bag of shrimp, deveined, like $6. Shrimp don't cost much anymore. I know, some nerd out there will be like, well, you didn't get the good shrimp. It was good enough to eat on a hamburger. If you're going to eat it on a hamburger, what kind of shrimp do you really need? At this point, those of you that usually watch the channel know that we keep talking after we eat for a few minutes. So those of you that are new, it's always somebody's first video. If you were just here for the food review, thanks for coming. Those of you that hang out, we're going to talk about something different today. Not really too jokey, just going to take a minute. Been a lot going on in the world in the last few days. Really too much. Too many people have said too many better things than I, so I'm not going to go too far into it. Those of you that don't follow Boogie, he put out a very good video regarding Orlando. As well as friend of the show, Nick Manzione. I actually talked to him on Facebook yesterday. he had a lot of friends and coworkers that were in that bar that night. And so for me to try to talk about that from any kind of a personal point of view is a disservice to everyone. But I think maybe he has a point of view on that others don't. And it's probably worth a listen. When I talked to him yesterday, I don't think he would be upset if I told you he was really down. He was really discouraged. And I think it would do him some good if you guys went over there and showed him some love. Nick's not somebody that we talk about on this channel. As you guys know, normally kind of our role, what we do, is we're the bad guys. Believe it or not, though, when we're not being the bad guys on video, behind the scenes, we talk to people, and we have hearts. We care about people. We just don't usually do it on camera. Which leads me to the other portion of this that I kind of wanted to speak to. The night before the shootings at the Pulse, fellow YouTuber Christina Grimmie was shot after a concert while doing a meet and greet. This one actually really like hit close to home for me. And I'll give you kind of a story why. One of my favorite musical artists in like the whole world, and those of you that don't know who this is or go look this up, it will probably melt your mind. But one of my favorite musical artists in the whole world is Canadian synth pop goddess Lights. Used to speak about her on the show all the time. Here in the US, she's not that big of a deal. I wish she was, but it makes it great when I go to concerts because I get a closer seat. A couple years ago, she played nearby, and as you guys know, we go to every concert that we can, but this was very special to me. I had looked forward to it for months and months and months, and we went, enjoyed the concert. It was a great show. And she has a tradition, or she had a tradition, that after the show, the people that knew if you went to her bus and was respectful and waited the appropriate amount of time, she would come out of her bus long after the show and take pictures and hang out and meet people. No extra charge. She never made a big deal about it. It was just something she did. So on this particular night, me and my girlfriend went, and we waited probably about an hour, just sit on the hood of our car because we were parked close enough to the tour bus. She came out, and she was very nice. There was probably about 50 people there. She had no bodyguard. She just came right out of the bus. She took time for everybody. I got autographs, took pictures, and it was really special. It was like a highlight of my life. It's something that to this day I look back on, and it just makes me feel good. Kind of a very similar circumstance with Christina Grimmie. She was doing meet and greets after the show. Now, a lot of times these are regulated and people are checked for guns or whatever before coming into the venue. So I don't know the exact on this. I just know that she was trying to take some extra time to give people a special memory of her for coming to her show, and that resulted in her death. When things like this happen, there's the horrible effect that it kills the person. And don't think that I minimize that at all, because her death is more important than anything else that I'm about to say. But there's a ripple effect on that. When people like this do things like this, they not only injure people, kill people, but it has a larger effect. Now, if I'm Lights and it's today, am I going to get off that tour bus? There's no extra money in it for her. Really, there's nothing but a risk to her life. So something that she used to do often, every day, literally every concert, she would do this for no money, unannounced, and bring joy to people. Now, very similar musical styles and whatnot, it has to come into her head, especially since she's a new mother, that as much as I may want to, is it worth it for me to go out there and risk getting killed? Probably not. So, all of the people that she's impacted through the years by doing meet and greets, taking a moment, listening to them, bonding with them, all of that is gone for everybody forever off of this one act. Now, I'm speaking about her, but you know, this goes across the board. A lot of people that interact with the public, things like this have to make them think twice. It would make me think twice. So not only are you killing a person, but you are taking a bunch of joy out of the world for lifetimes to come, literally. With this and with the Orlando thing, people talk about gun control. I'm not smart enough to tell you that if we took away the guns, it would make a difference, because there's so many guns out there, the bad guys would still have the guns. I'm not smart enough to tell you that if everybody had guns, that would be a better solution. There's no way to know. People are very passionate about both sides of this. Take the guns away, give everybody guns. I'm honest enough to tell you I don't know the answer. I wish I did. But if I probably knew the answer, no one would listen to me anyway. My answer is this, and then I'll get out of here. Guns or no guns, people are always going to find a way to hurt other people if they want to. So probably the best defense that I can offer, and what I would ask each and every one of you, is what we say every day, usually joking. We always end every show with stay vigilant. That's the best defense. There's always going to be somebody near you that you know is not well, that they're having a hard time. Check in on them. Make sure they're all right. In both of these cases, the guy that shot up the Pulse, he was on an FBI watch list. His ex-wife knew. People knew. I saw an interview with people that were supposedly his friends. When I say stay vigilant, be vigilant. If you think there's somebody out there that's going to hurt a bunch of people, it's your duty to make sure that they don't. And in the case where you're wrong, and it hurts somebody's feelings or ends a friendship, the lives you could have saved will be well worth the friendship, I would think. And if they're really your friend, maybe they'll understand. That's it. Stay vigilant.